back with the final 9 holes. Got Catrina leading the way by just 4 strokes over Rebecca. Holly at 9 over and Elaine at 10 over. So 4 strokes isn't technically enough to secure a lead with only 9 holes left. So we'll see how it goes. And also, if I haven't thanked these guys enough, all the sponsors, all these guys you're seeing here, please go show them love because they support disc golf 100%. Some of them are disc golfers, obviously. In fact, I think all of them are disc golfers. So support all of these companies that support disc golf as well. So yeah, I can't stress that enough. They're on here for a reason because they've been supportive before and they continue to be supportive. So support them. Hole number 10 is a pretty long hole for the most part. Kind of a low ceiling until you get into a certain spot, like right around here where it kind of opens up a little bit. So you kind of want to keep it low enough. It's not too low, but it can get away from you pretty easily. So you kind of want to monitor that whenever you're teeing off there. The road obviously is OB there, but for the most part, people will stay up that gut there. Just you don't want to be on the left side. Number one, right is a little more open as you get down there, but that left side early is pretty bad. You can see a lane there. I'm getting that turned over a little bit too much. Rebecca getting that a little bit too low to the ground. Going a little too high. Catrina getting kind of some good kicks there. She made it out to the middle, so she has a very good forehand run there. Oof. A lot of skip there. That might have given her a little longer putt than she wanted. Rebecca flexing that in very nicely. That was perfect. Elaine just getting that out a little too far to the left, but she'll have a putt. It'd just be a little longer than she wanted. She wanted that to hold a little more, I think. We'll see if I can throw another one in on hole number 10. And you can tell she was kind of doing it. You know, she's got the strokes to make up, so she was definitely aiming to do that kind of a thing. Yeah, Catrina got a lot of flair on that. So, and that was a great putt. Big save by her there. See if Ellen can do the same. And just skids over the top of the basket there. Rebecca, a little high right, but it sticks. And then Elaine will tap out and we'll head on to hole number 11. Hole number 11 is it's a pretty long little hole. It's nice and tucked in behind a bunch of trees down here. There's a lot of gaps that you can make it through for a lot of different shots, but mostly people will take this gap that the drone is going through right here. And this area right around in here is pretty typical landing zone. There's no OB in these spots right here, but there's a lot of low hanging limbs here, especially that tree right there. As you get closer to it, it definitely kind of comes into play if you don't get to the left or the right of it. depending on where you're at. You can have a nice hyzer around it, or you kind of have to play underneath it. So I've seen some rollers and such that worked out pretty well, and that's a very good shot right there by Rebecca, straight up the gut. And Holly's trying to do the same thing, and that'll play just fine right there. There's lots of open space out there to land in, so just pick your spot and aim for it, and Catrina's doing that pretty well too. Getting a nice little flare. Ooh, but a bad roll. I don't think she lost too much distance on that. And all these throws were those are great throws. Very good throws there. Probably trying to flex it around that leaning tree. And oh yeah, wow. That was very impressive. Elaine trying to do the same thing. And that'll be a puttin' too. Might be looking at some. To keep this up, we're gonna have some star birdies going on here on a not a guaranteed birdie hole. This is not technically an easy hole, in my opinion. Cat with a 4-inch. We have a kind of a lengthy putt there. Ooh. And that's not. I like the spot where she was at right there because you can hyzer that under and play off the skip. That's what I thought she was initially going to do, was play under that tree there to skip over. I think it just didn't come out of her hand right on that one. Cat crushing that putt right there. That was a great birdie right there. And another long putt attempt right here. She cashed too, yes. Hard to follow up Cat's putt, but then she pretty much outdoes it almost. And Holly. But they're putting on a clinic right now. So 3 solid putts right there. See if Rebecca can do the same. Oh yeah, and she cashes it on a nice par save right there. And they do that all the time. They certainly did on this hole. We're on hole number 13. Gotta love those AGL folks over there. So happy to have them be a part of this. Next hole, we're on hole number 13. No, hole number 12. I should know my own video by now. Hole number 12. Kind of want to go right up the gap here, right up the middle here for the most part. And then have a little slight turnover. You can have a little bit of a hyzer on it, but you want something that's not gonna have too much of an early finish on it, because you'll flare over to the left there and not have a good putt. And Holly just didn't get enough behind that one, so she's down there far on the left, but she'll be able to pick up a par from there, no problem. And Cat just getting a little low, but yeah, slipping on something there. Elaine looking pretty good, just a little bit too much turnover. Pretty easy to save a par on this hole. Rebecca doing it right. There we go. Kind of finished a little more. Like I'm saying, you kind of want to get a little more to hold that turn a little bit longer, which is scary to do because there are trees right there that you're pretty much aiming at almost. So just really a disc selection hole for the most part. Just choose the right disc and mind your wins, and these are all going to be pretty common chip ups right here for these ladies. Oh, very nice by Holly, putting it real close. She even hit some limbs there and still managed to stay in. I think mostly par is going to be right here. Allen can convert. And just a little bit too low. So far, Kat's maintained her lead, so not a lot of hole separation right now. As we head into hole number 13, we'll see if there's going to be any separation going on here in the next few holes. Alright, hole 13. Hole 13, you really... This is a pretty friendly hole, whether you're forehand or backhand. You can go to the left, flare over to the right, or you can go to the right, flare over to the left. You can even go up the gut here, kind of, have a little bit of a turnover, kind of have a tight flex line, but mostly you're going to see people skipping a backhand or a forehand towards the basket for the most part. So and Holly kind of took that down the middle gap, but she worked that out pretty nicely. It's pretty friendly down there. You just lots of trees. There, she narrowly missed that tree there. Very good shot. She'll have a good putt. And that's got to miss that tree. Not a bad kick. It kind of kept the forward momentum on that. That was a very good redirection right there. Elaine doing a nice flex line. I couldn't see from my vantage point where that landed. Not too far away, just a jump putt for a tap-in par. See if Rebecca's going to run this. I think right now they kind of are running a lot of these for the most part because they know they've got some ground to make, but Rebecca and Holly are still kind of playing for that second place spot right now. And I believe at this point Elaine and Ellen were also kind of back and forth with the third place. That was a great putt there by Cat. Yeah, Cat's just kind of on coast mode right now. Just don't make any big mistakes. I think Holly and Rebecca are going to, for the most part, be pretty aggressive. And yeah, Holly a little aggressive there. Not really, but she just missed her line there. But she's the comeback queen with those putts. You rarely see her miss them. I think I've seen her miss one, maybe two. She wasn't happy that she had to two-putt that one, but she'll shake it off and we'll tap out and move on to hole number 14. Definitely check out J Mike's Flavor Station. I think his new season is going to open up sometime in January. So, and if you happen to go there, tell him what I said. We're waiting on those taco pizzas to come out. Definitely press that issue. Taco pizzas, J Mike's. This hole here is pretty straightforward, wide open for the most part. There's a tree down there that doesn't really come into play that much unless you have a bit of a turnover too much. There is a OB parking lot on the left down there. But for the most part, you can just air it out like Cat has done here beautifully. And that little ditch right there is perfect place to filter into to have an easy putt for birdie. So Holly laying one down very nicely. Get some skip action. Get it up there. Very good. Back out on the same thing. It's gotta get out, but that's, oh yeah, it's coming out right before that tree. See, a lot of people accidentally hit that tree just because they overcook it a little too much. It happens. It's part of disc golf. But these are all really good shots. Ellen just throwing it up there. That'll be a tap-in par for her. Piece of cake. Oh, is she gonna run this? And I believe she does run this, and she narrowly avoided going OB there, but she's got good control over that disc, so no worries for her. Catrina, I don't know if she's gonna run this. Just gonna give it a little bit of air, just in case she missed. Very smart thing to do if you're gonna run it and there's OB behind you. Kind of give it a half run, play it safe. You don't want to blow past the basket. And they're tapping out. Right on to one of my favorite holes, hole number 15 on this courses. Seems to be my favorite hole so far. Hole number 15, got a double mando right here up the gut. Very forehand friendly, which is probably why it's one of my favorites. Lots of forehand opportunities here to just throw it straight down the gap, hyzer flip, straight, whatever your preference is. Flare over to the right, or backhand turnovers. Seen rollers. So there's lots of opportunities to attack this hole. So let's see what we got here with these ladies. They want to change up from the first round, maybe. Catrina getting that one down there nicely. Yeah, she'll have an easy look at the basket there. She can easily run that right now, given her score right now. And Holly getting that with the same, almost the same result there. Very nice. Becca trying to do the same thing. Yep. Very nice result as well. Yep. All really good shots right there. All gave themselves really easy runs at it. Yeah, very nice. The good thing about this little mound here is the discs stick on it pretty well, so you don't have to worry too much about it. You can pretty much run it. Yeah, you see how hold those just pretty much sit wherever they're at. Very nice shots here. Very, very nice. Yeah, they made pretty easy work of this hole. You hear the plane, and I don't know what happened there with Cat. She just kind of rushed it. You can do that when you got a 5-stroke lead, so only 3 holes left, so no major malfunction there. Alright. Shout out to Josh and Dakota, Dinx LLC. Love those guys. And we're on hole number 16. This is another pretty much open shot. The tree that we passed by right by the short tee is really the only thing you have to be contested against besides wind. This hole's pretty wide open, so there's lots of wind coming at you or behind you. So it's really just airing it out. A lot of turnover shots, forehand opportunities to get out around there. So haven't seen any rollers on this hole though, probably because there's a lot of it's not a very smooth ground out there. There's kind of a little runway area out there that you can get a nice skip on. You can kind of see that in the middle there. Becca just catches that limb. Alright, playing that nicely. Yeah, just pick a landing zone and go for it. Ooh, and Cat just didn't get enough on that, but she's not OB or anything. I don't think there's OB over there. She's should be safe. Should still have a pretty good look. It's not dangerous over there at all. Yeah, you can see Rebecca trying to clear the ground. It's still fairly new ground. Still hasn't been compressed down just yet. She gets a nice shot on this one. Yeah. Certain areas that when you hit it doesn't skip as well. She just kind of caught one of those areas that she landed in one of the more cleared out areas that would have filtered in a little better for her. Kind of like what happened to Elaine right there. Like that's just fine. Cat's gonna be throwing a forehand up there. That'll drop in nicely. Should be trying to save par, as is everybody else so far. And Holly, very nicely done, right under the basket, literally. Becca, she wanted that one. I'm sure they all would want that one anyway, but especially that one. So tap out, we'll move on to nice little short hole, hole number 17. Hole 17. Most of the time you're going to see people take this gap that the drone is pretty much going through. It's pretty straight for the most part. There is option to the right of that to kind of hyzer in right before those sets of trees there. There's some forehand lines. It's more of a flex forehand because those are some pretty tall trees over there, so you kind of got to mind that. And Holly, she's had a good line that just didn't have enough fade at the end of it. Want something with enough fade at the end to start finishing for you. Elaine taking that pretty typical route, trying to flip something up, but even if it doesn't flip on this hole, you're gonna have a putt at it. You might have a straddle putt, but you just want to get that little bit of flip, that just like what Rebecca got right here. That way you just land right where you need to be. If you don't get that flip, it's gonna leave you in a kind of a awkward putting spot. Catrina catching a tree there, kicking her out, but no problem for a par here. Only trying to capitalize on a birdie here. Yeah, just a bit short on both of those putts. Rebecca with a great drive here. She's had a lot of good drives. And that just too much, just off the top. She hasn't had much momentum on the putting. Everything else she does has been pretty good. Just the putting, yeah, she just... We all have those days where we just can't seem to get any traction. Just happens to all of us, even the pros like her. So we'll tap out when we got one hole left, and the most fun one of all, hole number 18.
About this crystal around it?
This one right here? You certainly can. I'm glad you did ask. I should have been shangling it a little bit. Spirit Armour, thank you again for hooking me up with this nice piece. Let me hold it out for you. This is my bling.
Shout out to Spirit Armour once again. Mr. Goose does great work. Hole number 18. This is an elevated tee with a long tunnel shot. It's a fairly open tunnel shot, but there is so much trouble. If you get stuck in early on this tunnel shot, it's a really bad spot. But as it opens up to the left or the right, you kind of have room to work with on the left or the right. Which, just basically just pick your gap, whether you want to have a forehand shot or a backhand shot. So, but the goal at the beginning is just to make it down there to give yourself an opportunity. So, and that looks really good. That's turning over nicely. Holly, she's kind of in a rough spot there a little bit. A little bit turned over too much. It kind of kept carrying for her. Elaine, that limb kind of slowed her down a little bit, so she's gonna have something to figure out back there or down there. Catrina just a little
I was so afraid.
low. And she was afraid to slip on that. She was having some of those issues today. Or at this time. Rebecca, that's a good one. That was a bad kick. It was heading in the right way. Usually catch a little nice flare, but she just got that undeserved limb or whatever it was she hit. And Catrina just trying to get it out there, and even though that she hit that was a good result. And you can see this gap just to the right. I think that's where Rebecca is trying to go. Trying to flex something down through. Maybe hyzer flip something. It's a tight gap. Yep. She did just that very well. Very well thrown. Yeah, and Elaine just got kicked off into this little bit down here. But there's much worse spots to be in, so for your first shot, this is not a bad place to be. She can get out and possibly save a 4. It's a good shot. Nice, and put it in a nice spot where she's nice and open and can have an easy gap. And Ollie just had a tough lie there. Kind of hard to get a good stance on that one, but she didn't land in. Ooh, that's eyes run out. Not too bad though. She's still in the open for the most part. It's one of the big keys in playing in wooded courses is staying out of the deep woods. Just as long as you're out in the open and you can maneuver around, you can save your pars and try to reduce the double bogeys and triple bogeys. There's one thing I know about, it's double bogeys and triple bogeys. It's a nice jump putt there. And we all know Holly is running this one. As long as she's got to look at it, she's running it. Catrina, she could pretty much just lay this up right now if she wanted to, or miss it a couple times. Yeah, but even she said, as a layup, that's what she said. I don't think she was trying to, but, you know, having some fun out there. Becca trying to make this to put herself in a good spot. Very well played there. She needed that to save her par there, and she did. So it looks like Catrina's definitely got the W there, followed by Holly Finley. We'll have to see the other scores to see where Ellen Woodboom landed.
Thanks for coming and watching us. You ladies rock.
Had a good gallery there. They were pretty stoked to be able to watch these ladies, and it was pretty exciting to have them there. So. But there you go. Catrina Allen, Holly Finley, Rebecca Cox was able to tie third place with Ellen Woodboom. So we're going to head into the awards portion. You don't get to see that very often, so I wanted to include that so that everybody could
congratulations to our
say their thank yous.
Professional Open Division runner-up, Miss
Myrtle
Holly
Disc Golf Club
Finley.
president, Chad Lefevre there.
I just want to say thanks to everyone for putting in the new course for us. It's a lot of fun to play. Glad you have this on the tour scene. I'll be hitting it up next year. Congratulations to Kat for taking it down. It was a fun battle with you. And thanks for playing, ladies. I had a really good time with everyone this weekend. Thanks to my sponsors, Innova and Grip.
Presenting your 2020 Myrtle Beach Open, presented by Grip Equipment, female professional open champion, Miss Catrina Allen. Let's go!
Man, I just want to say thank you for giving us such an amazing event at the end of the year after COVID and the national tour being canceled. I just found out about the payout, so I think I'm speechless about that. So thank you guys for taking care of us women, and like I said, giving us an event after a really hard year. And I can't wait to see what you guys do next year, and I'll do my best to come back. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for filming.
You're very welcome,
I'm
Miss
just
Cat.
really happy, and I had a great time with everyone I played with. It was a really fun weekend, and thank you to Prodigy.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
So yep, that will do it for the 2020 Myrtle Beach Open FPO division. That was a lot of fun, very exciting. Felt very lucky to be able to do this, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It's not something that I do as often as most people do. It's not my thing, but I enjoy doing things like this for my club. I love my club, so I support them, and anytime they ask me to do anything like this, I'll certainly do it, even though it's a pain in the butt and takes up a lot of time for me. I wish I could provide next day coverage to you guys. Joe Mez does that. Joe Mez and Central Coast. Those are your next day coverage guys. I'm not that guy, unfortunately. Maybe one day I will be. So for now, I'll be your next month coverage guy. How about that? When I have 3 rounds to film, I'll be your next month coverage guys. Maybe one day we'll be the next day coverage folks. But for now, we're just us, and I just have fun doing this. And thank you to all the sponsors: AGL Disc, J Mike's Flavor Station, Dinx LLC, Charleston Tshirt Factory, Too Far Under Par, Reggie Wraps, Gnosh Pit. Who am I forgetting? Wicked Aces, Valerie, thank you.